So my system is having hard time to figure things out. Probably it is because I'm uploading bunch of high resolution video um, with a 34-inch display, and it's not keeping up well. So what you're looking at right now on my screen is basically some gibberish word which is an input, causing my code to fail. So this is code lead code question number 1180, which basically says, hey, I will give you a string, return me all the substrings that have only one distinct letter. So that basically means that, if you have a string like triple ABA, the output should be 8, and that essentially is the count uh, of the substring which only had A originally, right? Or B, right? Like only one character at a time. And if you look at my solution, it sort of works for the smaller input, but then it does not. And then I made some changes, so I will just walk you through that bit so that you understand what is going on here, right? So what you're looking at is like, I create a function saying like, hey, get me all substrings, which essentially given a string, return all the possible substrings, which we can later on, filter and then see if it has only one character. The way I was trying to do was like, I have a string, let's split it and then run a map on each character, and from that character onwards find all the possible word or subset it can have, right? And then push it into an array. So basically there's a map happening which will return as array, and then there's a reduce, because like, if I'm going from a string which is similar to triple AAB, I'm at a I'm trying to figure out like, hey, what I can build AAAAAAAB and then triple ABA, right? So to solve that one uh, level of looping, I'm using map. The level of looping I'm using reduce, which is like, for the left out character, try to figure out that how many set of combination of word you can, create. And then I'm basically on that I'm initializing with the starting value, which is the value at which um, the map will have, right? Like the character which map will be looking at. This essentially will return a nested array which I'm flattening here. So the end of the story is basically it's returning all the characters, all the substrings which can be created from the string s. Once that is done, I have also created another helper function which I'm still, as you can see, is still work in progress. Is basically I'm trying to use regex to make sure that, given a string s, can you um, check whether it only has one set of characters or does it have, more than one character in that particular word. And last but not the least, the main function basically takes um, all the string input and then returns all the substring possible, right? And then just filter those substring based on the property which is like has one character and show us the result. So if you look at the higher level, this function becomes really readable only because we have these two functions. I tested this one. This one seems to be working very nicely. I believe we have some problem here, and I'm trying to figure out. So the other problem I faced and why I'm going to look at the regex solution is basically I was looking at to solve this problem using something called every in array. I don't think so. This will be the one, but if you see array dot every mdn, I think you should get what I was trying to say. Extremely sorry for my bad system. Working on it will be better from the next video onwards. Okay, yeah, it's still taking a lot of time. Okay, this is what I was talking about. So basically, what it does is like a method which is basically a tester. Test for the all element. If everything passes, then only every returns true, otherwise false. Um, I was trying to do that. I was able to solve that problem for a smaller set of input, but input like this is causing me really hard time because these characters are not easy to solve, and I'm getting some sort of garbage collection issue, basically memory overflow for the node, because apparently they have a limit on top of how much memory one process can take, and this particular solution which I had taking more than allowed or permitted amount of memory. Still don't know why is that the case. If I will know, I will share it with you. um, yeah, that's about it. And with this solution I'm having some trouble where, like, for everything it's returning false except one. Maybe my regex is bad, so I have this regex setup here, which I'm constantly testing against. I figured out one problem with my solution is basically that, let's say there's one A, this solves for it, but then the B A, right? And then this is a match, but I don't want that to be a match. So what I did was, uh, A being a character, I'm trying to check against A. I did A plus, and I did a dollar, I believe, right? Start and end. Yeah, I think so. This was a, so it matches, right? Like A, the first bit of this A is matching this. Hey, does it start with A? The dollar A. Okay, it is about to rain, so I can't do anything about the thunder. So just please bear with me. And the dollar A essentially, this A and A plus is like any character of A, but non-zero numbers, right? So the problem with that is like two does not match. So you can solve that by adding a star here. So it says like, hey, 0 or 2, this looks good, but then when you have 1A, this fails. So I believe I this is the solution which I should be looking at, because at least it works with 2. The only thing I need to make sure that, when I do that, first is like I need to remove this plus and change this to asterisk. The other bit is like, I need to make sure that the particular character has one length. So if it is the one length, it has only one character, right? Like, no brainer. So if I want to do s dot length is length equal to 1, right? Just return true. Otherwise do all of this, run this code, let's see what happens. Okay, so this got accepted. Wow, I'm that good at it? I don't know. Okay. Because man, this gave me some trouble. I still don't think this will solve the problem though. You can see I failed a couple of times, and yeah, terminated call throwing an instance. There's what? I don't know what this means. Um, and this is basically failing for this one. I don't have any solution to it, and yeah, there you go. So I have this process out of memory bug, and I have no clue where is it coming from. Maybe it is coming from slice, because inside a map I'm doing slice for every character to find the left out character and running reduce on top of them. But I can't say with the lot of confidence here, and that is where my trouble is. Um, okay, let me figure this out, right? Like, what is going on? Okay. Okay, I think probably I need to change my approach upside down, because in this way I was just solving for um, all the substring and then trying to filter out, hey, out of this substring, how many of them are actually matching the requirement we have of having, the same number of character and stuff. But I believe that is not how I should be solving it anyway. Um, yeah, I don't know. Probably I just have to look for the solutions, because mm, I I don't think so that I would have enough time to solve this one. Okay, but this one is interesting. Okay, left out characters dot slice, character dot reduce, character dot push, length, recurrent run -1. God, I'm sleepy. Yeah, that is the problem. Whenever I see problem which is challenging, I start feeling sleepy. Okay, so I'm running map, running reduce, left out slice. Okay, okay, okay. I believe this is the problem, because for each character it is looking for the left out character, and for each left out character then it is okay. I don't know how to stop that. Um, yeah, thanks for listening. I think I'm done with this video. Uh, nahi yaar, I am not done actually. I will find out a solution. I will close this video nicely and then take it forward. Okay, so what I would do is like I will take this, copy it over Notion. You might not be able to see it, but I need to do that because so that I can keep. Oh, you are able to see it. Oh, it is not recording that. It's recording every center of the window, which is not cool, man. Okay, anyway, I don't mind. Um, 16th. Okay, I was solving this one only, right? Open this. Solution failed. So I have a better one, I believe, which I will just be pasting here. This. Okay, and why not to, improved version? Still fails, but still, yeah. So, what I think we should do now is jump onto solution or discussion and see how they have built it. Because I'm running out of ideas. Okay, might not require that. Let's look at this one. Okay, this looks shamefully easy, which is very strange because I thought the solution would be very hard. So say a 3 times, double a 2 times, a 1 time. Okay. Okay. So it is checking for each and every combination. If s of I is not equal to s of I minus 1, then this, and then there's a total thing, and then there's this much for count is equal to count plus 1. Wow, this is easy. This is so easy. I'm so ashamed that I was not able to solve it, but ठीक है यार, go chupana होता है. So, but how? So this is basically testing it s of I. If it is not equal to previous one, then count is 1. If it is equal to previous one, then increase the count to whatever number it was then before. So if it is 3a, a 2 times, and a is 1 times, how does that takes into account, right? Like that is what I'm trying to. So you only need to know how many of this continuous letter are, and then for each of them calculate the sum by adding 1 and lengthening the continuous letter for triple A. Okay, it's 1 plus 2 plus 3, which is equal to this, for example. Okay. So, but is it doing count total is equal to 1, count is equal to, okay, total is undefined basically, right? uh, okay, so this is 1, the count get increased to, oh, it does not get reset every time. So 1 occurs 1, but double A occurs twice, so 3 times. Double A occurs twice. I'm not able to understand honestly. So you need to know how many of these continuous letters are, and then each of them calculate the sum by adding 1 to the length of the continuous letter. For triple A, it is this. In our example, at the beginning of our code, to make the code easier to write without considering too many edge cases, I concentrated 2 spaces at the beginning and the end of the string. Then we have variables. One is total, that holds the sum, and count as the count of the number of the continuous letters. If we found ith letter is not same as I minus 1 letter, then we reset the counter. Otherwise, they are the same. and we add 1 to the counter for each time. We simply add the counter value to the total and then add 1. Hmm. That same idea, find my solution. You're a genius. Did it without the string concatenation. Okay, so I'm feeling so dumb because I went other way around. But I think, yeah, the whole point of it, the solving this problem, is to understand the pattern in it and then going about it. So yeah, let's do this in JavaScript. Sorry for any background noises. Okay. Okay, so I have to solve it for count letters. I'm not doing this. Okay. So essentially, what we need to do is to make sure that if so, we have something called total, which is equal to 0 for now, and then we have something called count, which is also equal to 0 for now. Okay, now what we want to do is that for sorry let I equal to 0, I length, right? So what we want to do is like if s of I is not equal to previous one, right? Like I minus 1, set count to 1, right? But I do need this bracket and stuff, right? Because I need to go for else also. Okay. No, I need another bracket to close this. Else, I want to do total plus equal to count, and as he did in his solution, that he added one string, empty string at the end and the starting. The reason being that when s is equal to 0, s minus 1 will basically be minus 1, which is not cool, right? So what I think I can do is we need to make sure this value exists. So when I will okay, so I think the only check I think we need is s minus 1 exist, and then because s of I will always be there, right? And then we have this total which we want to use to return total. So let me check. This count is 0. Let I is equal to 0. S length minus length I plus. Okay. Check for the previous character if that exists. S of I should not be equal to this. Reset it. Otherwise, increment the count. But I think the problem I'm having here is like increment the count by 1 as well, right? Like we're supposed to do that. I haven't done that yet. So let's just go back quickly and see where they do it. So they're incrementing the count within if else, then they're incrementing on top of it. So yeah, that is one mistake I did, because I kept it here. That would mean that it get added only in case where the character will not match. So count plus, okay, this looks better. Let's run this and see. Yeah, this works. So, man, this is gold. So as you can see, a problem which you think is really hard might not be that hard, and I have this tendency to overcomplicate problem all the time. So learning for me for this specific video is to figure out the problem necessarily not to be too hard, just because it looks like one. Thanks for this, guys. Thanks for your time. It's been pleasure um, solving this problem, and quite humiliating as well. I hope we have we level up with time. Thanks.